Sonya and Sasha, for real.
You're listening to BRIMBANK Live and Live FM. This is the SONYA and Sasha for real show, and you are not going to believe this. We have been able to secure a very exciting interview this morning. I think we've outdone ourselves with this guest this morning. Sasha, what do you think?
You cannot get better than this guest. It is the number one. Look, I tell you what, out of everybody that we could interview, it's number one for our kids. That's all I can say.
Number one for us, because we need a bit of joy at this time of the year. I think everyone, we've just come out of the ring of steel.
Yes.
We're ready.
There's nothing like a mythical man that's coming into our lives, Sonia. That's all I can say. And he is right here. He's the number one mythical man. He's actually the number one. I think he's our number one. I mean, he's the number one that's stability, isn't he? He's stable. He becomes every year. He's around all the time. So I think it's perfect. So we've got this incredible man that we want to introduce. Everybody knows him. It's someone around the whole wide world. You can't get better than this guy. Can we please give a massive round of applause for the absolute number one real Santa?
Oh! Hello there, Sonia and Sasha, and all of the listeners in your network. It's so nice to be here with you today.
It's so exciting to actually
Santa, just hearing your voice just makes us feel happy.
So,
that makes me feel happy too.
I'm like a little kid. I want to sit on his. I want to come and sit on your lap. Santa, we've got this. We don't know what's happening. You've got to tell us.
You can't sit on his lap because that's why we've got him in here, because we can't sit on Santa's lap.
Well, I'm destroyed. What's going on? Tell us about a COVID-safe Santa visit this year.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
You want to know about COVID-safe Santa? Well, there's so much to it, really, isn't there? But it really depends on the situation at the time and what kind of restrictions and also how safe people are feeling when I do come to visit. There's also some virtual Santa options as well. We're doing some live video streaming and even some phone calls and pre-recorded video messages that we can send to people, just in case they're unable to do their actual real live event. So we've got our bases covered, and Christmas is not cancelled, not even a little bit. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, Santa, we are so excited. But do we have to do some social distancing with you, Santa? Like, can we come up and give you a hug? What's the story?
Well, again, it really depends on the location and also the restrictions at the time. But I can assure you I'm quite safe. I'm a bit of a magical man, and I'm immune, you could say. But we do have to be careful of transmitting between humans as well. So we will do what we need to do to keep everyone safe.
Santa, have you actually had a COVID test? Have you had the COVID test? That's what I need to know.
I did have one just for giggles, and I'm negative.
Oh, good.
Of course you are, Santa. Now, how have you been dealing with the whole pandemic, Santa? How's Santa's mental health been during this time of life?
Well, I'm always jolly. I don't have a choice about that. I was just made that way. So I'm okay. But I do feel for everyone else, it's been very difficult, I know. I've been checking in on all the boys and girls, and some of them are really struggling. It has been quite difficult, but a bit of Christmas cheer is going to help with that, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. And do you think that, all right, so another very important lead up to you coming on Christmas Eve, Santa, is that we have the elf on the shelf. Now, that's a big deal in a lot of our households. They come out to play. So does the elf on the shelf need to wear a mask to travel, or are they travel restrictions for the elf on the shelf, or what's going on?
That's funny. Well, all of the elves, being they're not quite human, I believe they are all immune to communicable diseases. However, as a gesture of solidarity, we have expanded the workshop at the North Pole so that all the elves can socially distance while they're making all the toys. And the elf on the shelf, you will never really see or hear of him or her when they do come to visit, but we have made it very clear that they're not to leave any droplets anywhere while they're coming to visit in the house. So it's all clean safe, don't worry. And if they do make a mess, and sometimes they do, we know that, they're quite cheeky, but they'll make sure that everything's quite safe for you. Don't worry.
I think the cleaning companies have missed an opportunity there, cleaning up elf droplets. I mean, there's got to be a special spray for that, doesn't there?
You're a funny one.
Now, Santa, I need to ask you, once you get back from delivering all the toys, do you have to quarantine for 2 weeks at in your North Pole home?
Thankfully not, no.
You don't, so you get to go
No.
around the entire world and not have to quarantine.
Yes, that's right. You could call it a magic vacuum cleaner, if you like.
Oh.
Wherever I go, we make sure that there's no germs or droplets or anything left behind.
Oh, that's
Christmas magic. Thank goodness, though, right?
Look, I absolutely am so excited to get you to come to our house. We're going to have cookies out. Is there anything that's specific that you want us to leave out for you at on Christmas Eve, Santa?
Well, you know what I like. You've been leaving it for me most of the year, so thank you so much for that. And, I love the cookies, but I also like a bit of variety. So anything that you might have baked that week would be fine. I'm not fussy. And I am trying to look after my figure, so maybe something a bit healthy this time, if you don't mind.
Healthy option. So Tim Tams is not for you this year.
Could you say that again?
Tim Tams is not for you this year. Normally we leave you out some Tim Tams or a mint slice, carrots for the reindeers, all of that sort of stuff. But option.
You know my vice, don't you? That's my weakness, the Tim Tams. You can leave them for me if you like, but just know that I will be getting quite a lot of those on all the visits. So if you care about my belly, perhaps you could leave some fruitcake or something.
Oh,
Fruitcake. Like fruit and chocolate together. You'll leave me some of that. That's the healthy option.
I'll get some of that. Just a quick question before we go, Santa, and you've been wonderful to be with us today. What are you going to say? I'm sure there'll be a lot of children sitting as close as they can to you asking the question, could you please get rid of coronavirus for my Christmas wish? What do you think you'll say to that?
Now, my Christmas magic is strong, but unfortunately it doesn't really work like that. It's the same response when people ask me for money or a Ferrari or the world peace. There's just limitations, you see.
Santa can only do so much.
Yes, and spreading the cheer around the world is enough, isn't it?
You're doing a fabulous job. We're so happy that you've been able to join us today, Santa, and we look forward to seeing you however you get there, however you are, whether you're masked up or we have to sit, with a plastic screen in between us. We don't care. We just want to see you, because I think you symbolise happiness and a fun, festive time of the year. So thank you for joining us today. Let's do a big ho 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 together, should we?
Oh.
3, 2, 1, you ready?
It's my absolute pleasure to talk with you, and a Merry Christmas to you and yours.
Santa, you're wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today. You've been listening to BRIMBANK Live on Live FM. This is the Sonya and Sasha for Real show. Ho, ho, ho.
Sonya and Sasha, for real.